I'd like you to remember from today's talk is that ROX is the revenue operating system for the world. If you want to build real world agents that actually work and run businesses that your grandma has heard of, like Siemens, Philips, Hitachi, and many others, then ROX is the place to be. Our core mission is to secure and grow the world's revenue, just like Stripe's mission is to grow the GDP of the internet, and Ramp's is to save businesses time and money. We've had an insane velocity of progress because we have the best applied AI team in the space, and we're also backed by firms like Sequoia, Alphabet, and others. Our focus is not to automate low-value work, but it's actually to make the best better at their job. What is ROX? ROX is a swarm of agents that's constantly working for you. So for example, if you're Ramp and you're managing 400,000 customers with ROX, you get 400,000 agents mapped one-to-one with your customers. These agents come hooked up with all available public data out of the box, and you have the ability to hook up arbitrary kinds of structured and unstructured private data to your agents. Once these agents have this stream of context available, they'll automatically look for notable events or insights and take actions and do actual work for you based on these insights. So a year ago, when we started, we were mainly focusing on account research. But today, ROX does research, outreach, meeting management, and much, much more. Who knows what will be possible in a few months from now, and we would definitely like people to join us and help build this future. We're working with real Global 2000 enterprises across a wide array of industries, from consulting to sovereign AI and, of course, enterprise tech. And I want to give a big shout out to our friends at Ramp, Together, and Cognition, who constantly push us to build the best version of our product through their insane power usage of ROX. Just to give a quick sense of the scale and velocity we operate at, since January, our token consumption has gone from just around 1 billion tokens a month to over 350 billion tokens a month now. And finally, I just want to shout out our talk and our challenge. So Taek over here is giving a talk about building in real world messy environments like ROX operates in, like sales is a very, very messy environment. So Taek will give a talk about how we architect agents operate in kinds of environments. And our challenge is also very similar. We're sponsoring a $15,000 cash prize for the best agent that can operate, again, in a real world messy environment, things like sales, customer support tickets, or anything you can think of. But what we're looking for is real agentic capabilities in an environment with a lot of messy real world data. We'd love for you to join us and outship the market. And I'm looking forward to meeting you all this weekend, and happy hacking. Thank you.
Thank you, Rox. Now let's hear it from Fetch AI. What's up, hackers? Excited for the hackathon? Yeah? So I'll start. There is nothing quite like the energy at HackMIT. This I know because I've been a hacker at 2 previous editions of HackMIT. This is my winning team. And I want to give a shout out to 3 MIT interns who are working with Fetch AI. Now, let's start off. How many of you know what Fetch AI does? Yeah? Any guess? Okay, next question. What is the most used word this year in the tech industry? It's agents, right? And can you guess the number of times it has been used around the internet? It has been used around 873 million times. Can you imagine? I'm just kidding. I just made up that number, but it feels like that's the right number. Okay. Now, what does Fetch AI do with agents? So there are so many people out there building agents. There are so many frameworks out there building agents. But now the important question is, how do you discover these agents? Where do you search for them? And how do you use them? That's where Fetch AI comes in. We provide the discovery layer, search and the discovery layer for agents. People can come in and search for the agents using any query, and it will find you the right agent dynamically, specifically for that particular query. So this is our ASI1 LLM. Unlike the traditional LLMs, it's an agentic LLM. What I mean by that is it can search and discover agents for you. So a traditional LLM will give you an answer based on the data it is trained on. But this LLM, what it does is, whenever you query something, it will find the right specialized agent for you from the agent marketplace, fetch it for you, execute the task, and give the answer. Now, so this is a simple example. So if you search, I want to analyze my health records. So it will find a specialized agent that can do this particular task from our marketplace and completes that particular tasks and gets you back the answer. And this is our platform. So this is the marketplace I've been talking about. The LLM actually searches from the agents on this marketplace before giving you the answer. Now, I'll skip the demo part. We have a workshop today evening at 4 p.m. So please come by there. We will show you how the platform works, and we also give you the advanced examples of how to build agents that are discoverable on our ASI LLM. And I wanted to showcase this one of the cool agent that was built by the MIT intern working with Fetch AI. And it's a protein prediction agent, which gives out 3D structures for particular sequence of protein sequence. And then coming to our challenges and prizes. So what you need to build this weekend is you need to build a multi-agent system that is more than a simple chatbot. It needs to do some particular action, execute an agentic workflow. So it can be anything. Don't restrict yourself to the traditional hackathon ideas. Go bold and ambitious. And it's fine even if your code breaks or if it is messy. What we want to see is something extraordinary. And so this is your weekend, 24 hours of complete freedom. You are the CEO of your own hackathon idea. And so keep hacking. Thank you.
Thank you, Fitch AI. We would now like to invite Toolhouse to the stage.
Hey guys, I'm Pete from Toolhouse. So what do you guys think is the most important part of the car? Anyone? My mom would say the person, but she'd be wrong. The most important part of the car is the engine, which is why here at Toolhouse, we want to help you build your engine for your project. That's why we're offering you guys 3 months of free Toolhouse. All you have to do is scan this QR code and with agent to API platform, meaning we design, build, we help add any mess own nothing. We ship your agents directly into the cloud. And on top of that, we also have thousands of MCP server integrations to help your agents get superpowers. Even better, we have easy to use RAG pipelines so your agents can train on the data that you want it to. All you have to do is prompt the agent, get an API, and integrate. It's that easy. We also have a CLI for developers to use so you guys can edit the agent specs. All you guys have to do, scan this QR code, get 3 months of free Toolhouse, and go break some eggs. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Toolhouse. Now we'll have some brief messages from our gold sponsors.
That will be brief, we promise. Or maybe not. Okay, great. Kleiner Perkins is a venture firm that's been backing history-making companies like Google, Amazon, Figma, and Glean for over 50 years. They also run KP Fellows, which is a program for the next generation of builders. Every summer, they bring a small group of the most talented students, this year in engineering and design, into their portfolio companies where they get to work on real problems and join a lifelong community of entrepreneurs. Applications just opened, so visit the KP booth to learn more and for a link to apply.
The Interaction Company of California is building Poke.com.
Great, next. Very clean. Okay, Attention Engineering is building a proactive AI interface for the desktop. They're a small team from MIT, Citadel Security, CMU, Optiva, Cambridge, and design engineers and software engineers.
Fullridge over 8 billion in assets. Founded in 2009, they apply sophisticated mathematics, intelligent software, scientific intuition, and rigorous risk management in an effort to deliver superior risk-adjusted returns. It's the perfect place for talented and passionate individuals who love solving complex math problems and want to make an impact.
Cool. Tandem AI infrastructure platform that cuts the cost of running batch inference by 30 to 50%. Instead of relying solely on high-end GPUs, Tandem aggregates and routes jobs to the top open source models across heterogeneous GPU pools. This draws on idle capacity across mixed GPU supply and delivers comparable inference latency at a significantly lower cost. With a simple API swap, Tandem's orchestration layer selects the optimal hardware mix, allowing teams to realize immediate value and for me to not realize what we're actually talking about.
Modal is a serverless cloud platform purpose-built for AI. Instead of relying on slow Kubernetes infrastructure, Modal built its own container runtime and file system so developers can launch AI jobs in just seconds. With a simple Python decorator, you can run everything from inference to fine-tuning to large-scale batch jobs, all elastically scaling from 0 to thousands of GPUs. Modal gives you the power of serverless simplicity with the speed, flexibility, and observability that AI workflows need.
Cool. Cerebras is their challenge track. Their challenge is the best use of the Cerebras API. They're the world's fastest inference provider, up to 20 times faster than GPUs, and they're giving you free inference credits to push the limits. The prize is a custom Cerebras mechanical keyboard and a guaranteed internship interview for the top 2 teams.
Mentra makes the open source smart glasses operating system called Mentra OS, making it easy to build apps for display glasses and camera glasses. Mentra also makes the Mentra Live smart glasses, which are basically like if Meta Ray-Bans had an actual SDK. They're here to help you build amazing smart glasses apps. They've brought 50 smart glasses that are available to loan out if you guys want to build on their platform. Check out docs.mentra.glass to get started and visit their booth during the sponsor fair.
Great. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. And we're really excited to have them all here this weekend. They're great companies and they're also great because they've given us a lot of money. Cool. To all the hackers, make sure to check them. So please swing by and yeah. Great. Finally, we do want to make sure that this hackathon is a safe and enjoyable environment for everybody. So before you start hacking, please carefully review our code of conduct at go.hackmit.org/COC to understand our guidelines. The document contains important details about project integrity, respectful behavior, and emergency context, so it's very important that you take the time to look at it.
Additionally, we do apologize for the delays in the opening ceremony, and as promised, we will ensure that everything is updated and all of our times are adjusted. Your submission window will still be 24 hours precisely. So to find our complete schedule of events, which is like adjustable, please check out our day of homepage at dayof.hackmit.org. This schedule will have been adjusted to account for the delays. We'll be having workshops, sponsor talks, and mini events going on all day. And this day of website is the best way to make sense of that schedule. You can also see information about all of our sponsor challenges and their exciting prizes, as well as judging logistics, interactive maps, and more at, again, dayof.hackmit.org.
Just to be clear, you will not be allowed to start hacking until after the ceremony is concluded, so it's obviously actually in your best interest to stay behind for now. Great. If you'd like help or guidance on your project, go to the help queue at help.hackmit.org, and our amazing mentors who have volunteered to be here today will assist you. For beginner teams, we're also running a beginner mentor matching program to pair you with a mentor for the hackathon. If you're interested in participating, please fill out the form at go.hackmit.org/request beginner mentor.
You should have also received your hacker ID and your lanyard earlier this morning or last night during check-in. This is very important. You must keep this on you at all times, as this is your key to the hacking spaces and indicates that you are participating in your event. If you do not have this, you will not be allowed to enter the hacking spaces.
Cool. While you're in the hacking space, please be mindful of your surroundings. Each table can seat 2 hacker teams of 4, and some tables have white Wi-Fi routers on them. Please don't move these. And also, there's a lot of wires, so please try not to trip.
Additionally, HackMIT will also be running several mini events throughout the day. The full schedule of these events will be available on day of, but you can see an example of some of them on the screen.
Awesome. And obviously, you're all very impatient for hacking. We'll make sure that this happens. This will be taking place in the Infosys AI hack space. It's a 3-minute walk away, and team members will be guiding you to the space in just a bit. Hacking time will officially start after the opening ceremony, and this will conclude at a time that we'll release in the Discord. It's probably going to be 11:45. The deadline will be 11:45 tomorrow. And then just another reminder, the hacking arena will close from 1 a.m. tonight and will reopen tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. If you don't have hosting plans by midnight, please come to the help desk and we will help you find an alternate host.
So what happens if you need logistical help? Our team will be monitoring help channels very closely on Discord, and we're happy to answer any of your questions there. Additionally, feel free to visit us at the help desk in the main hacker space, or ask anyone with this white hoodie on for help.
Great. And if you're still looking for a team formation will be happening right after this in the Mac court, which is at the back of the Z Center, which is where you guys will be guided to. Team members will also be guiding you there. And then finally, we have some special messages.
Yeah, now before we start hacking, we'd like to invite a very special guest to the stage, Gary Tan.
All right. Thanks to the HackMIT team for bringing us. And I know you guys are really ready to hack, so I'll make this very brief. All right. Well, so the really cool thing is, I'm very proud to be standing in front of you because this is one of the most, probably the most dense set of builders we ever get to see. What you guys are going to be able to build is going to be truly incredible. And I was reflecting on earlier this year, we had AI Startup School, and I got to sit down with Elon Musk. And one of the big revelations for me was that he chose our stage to sort of confess that he's ready to go back to the main quest. And one of the things I was thinking about is like, yeah, like he was working on all these side quests. You know, lots of people have lots of feelings about what he did on the side quest. And when he said the main quest, I think we all know what that meant. It meant building the first real car for 1 billion people. It meant bring and more. And I thought about my job as CEO of YC. I think my job is to actually help create thousands of main quest Elon Musks. And I'm looking out in this audience right now, and I think there are actually a lot of people in here. It sounds ridiculous. You shouldn't laugh at this. This is actually one of the things that people in this room will have the chance to do. And we hope to help you with that. Now, I just said something that sounds kind of crazy, but let me give you some stats to back this up. You know, in the last year or so, we've been seeing startups, about a dozen or so, get to 8 figures in revenue. That's $10 million a year or more in revenue with less than 10 people, often with just 2 co-founders coding really, really hardcore. And it's happened with MIT people, it's happened with probably some of your peers even. And that's so powerful. At YC, another thing that was really astonishing happened only in the last year. 10 years ago, when Airbnb went through Y Combinator, Paul Graham said, if you can grow 10% per week, that would be great. And they were the only company in that batch to do so. And that was normal. Only the top 1%, top 0.5% of any given set of companies would ever hit 10% per week growth, even from small numbers. And so for 5 batches in a row now, YC companies have hit 10% per week revenue growth. For 5 batches in a row, on average, like the whole batch, you take their growth and you divide it out, and they've been growing that fast. So you might ask, well, that sounds pretty crazy. Why is that? I mean, I think, And, honestly, the output of your hacks today will probably eclipse or, 10x, 20x the impressiveness of what people were able to do 2-3 years ago. 95% of code for about a quarter of the YC startups these days is generated by AI. And you might say, oh, it's AI slop. But it turns out that they're in good company. Literally, the team that creates Claude code recently came out and said 95% of their code is generated by Claude. So, and you put 2 and 2 together, that's actually a 20x multiplier. Like going back to that stat about being able to grow 10% week on week, going back to being able to get to $10 million a year in net revenue per year recurring with only 10 people. Literally a 10-person team can do the work of 200 people. And that's what you used to need to do. You used to have to build a team of 200. You had to hire all those people and manage them. And now you don't have to do that. And that's very, very good news for people who are builders. I think it's a really, really exciting time, honestly. And at YC, I mean, historically, YC about 6.5% of companies that go through YC in sort of the last 10, 15 years become unicorns. It's about $1.3 trillion in market cap in 20 years, if you include OpenAI, which is pretty wild, honestly. So, what are we here for? I love the Neil Stephenson quote, the future is already here, but not evenly distributed. It's, who here knows that meme where there's, someone in the corner and they're like, they don't know, and everyone else is dancing. That's us in this room right now. And the rest of the world has no idea what this means. So we're in on the secret, and that's actually really powerful. As Peter Thiel says, it really is about being, contrarian but right. And we know something that nobody else knows, or very, very few people on this planet know yet. I think, the only other weird, interesting takeaway is that, like, this is a time of unprecedented agency. Back when Uber came out, one of the things the thinker Venkatesh Rao talks about is, suddenly you want to be above the API line. You don't want to be an Uber driver. You want to be above it. And in the same way, I think that our goal at YC is to help builders not be a part of the capital structure working for someone else. We want you to own it. We want you to be creating equity. So be above the API line and don't work for other people's equity. And that is the most powerful thing that you can think of at a moment where prompting an agency is the most important thing. Don't be prompted. You should be prompting AI and people. People in AI should not be prompting you. So with that, I'll leave you with one sort of interesting mental model for what's going on in the world. If you look at the pie of GDP, like all the things that people need from one another, literally capitalism that like weaves society together, what percentage probably has access to good software? I don't know, 75%, 50%? It's not that high. It's surprisingly low. What percentage are actually using AI? The rocks can talk. You zap the rocks and they can talk, but now they can think, they can reason, they can do real work. And so probably 1 or 2% of the world is actually using these tools in the way that they should. And this crowd, this audience, and our friends, we're the ones who are going to make that 100%. We're going to bring it to 8-9 billion people on the planet. And I'm looking at those people who are going to do that. Look to the left and right of you, and we're the generation. We're the people who are going to do it. So with that, hacking period starts now.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Queens. We'll do this. We'll deal with this. Thank you so much. Yeah.
We have to take